is Omni-Channel the future of commerce? Because books ho gaya, electronics ho gaya, grocery is also somewhat done. Okay, now every brand is now going into Omni-Channel. Like when I see mattress, sofa, specs, all are Omni-Channel now.
Yeah.
You cannot survive by just having a website or just having stores.
Yeah, so let me ask you the question. Since you have worked in Lenskart, you tell me Lenskart is a great success story, and a great valuation, and very unique and a category leader. I don't think anybody is close to it. How has you have seen close quarters? How has the journey been for Lenskart? What is the motivation? And two, when did this idea that Omni-Channel is required work?
So
Share the experience. We'll talk about Bluestone later.
Yeah. So I think so. Piyush, I respect him a lot for the experimentation mindset he has. I think so. Lenskart didn't start as Lenskart. Lenskart, I guess, started was watch card, bag card, Lenskart, and when he experimented with 4-5 formats, the one which he saw highest money was not Lenskart. It was the place where he could create a moat. And then they raised money with, I think so, Ronnie Screwwala, and then they journeys later. But I think they also started online, pure online, and buying specs is even tough online, because anytime you're buying a specs, you need the eye test, and there is no eye standardization. There's length, width. And then if you create a specs for a person, like your specs and my specs will be totally different because of the power, because of the frame. And no two people want to have the same frame also today.
Correct.
So online was the way they started, but stores opening was the biggest thing which really cracked the thing. And they applied the same technology which they used in manufacturing online for offline. So they are also a manufacturer, they are a retailer, and they're moving out of franchisee model to control end-to-end experience. And I think so the use of tech and data was very, very high. If you go and order it in store, it's like you're placing an online order. So it's like the store guy will have an app where they will order. So what I see is, and the use of tech also in opening stores. So how to determine which store to open, how to determine what to offer, to do online personalization. So I think so they cracked the tech, analytics, distribution, and the manufacturing. So there's a huge plant in near Gurgaon, which has recently opened, which has like huge capacity. It's like hugely automated. Like there'll be robots going and the lens cutting and all.
Oh wow!
So I think so. It's the biggest eyewear plant in the world or something. So we're all the
that's very interesting that you say it. So really, the Omni-Channel, and which resonates with even Bluestone journey. So Omni-Channel is not just about selling online.
Yeah.
Okay, right. It's got lot more. I mean, all the other elements need to feed into pure multiple Omni-Channel experience.
Yeah. So I would say one is, if you don't bring the supplier and the sales and the manufacturing together, the economics does not work. The D2C economics. So that has to be done, which you also mentioned, Bluestone did it. And the consistency of design and experience. To me, whenever I say Omni-Channel, there are three aspects I talk about. One is sales, service, and marketing. Sales, like we talked about, Bluestone has stores, online, offline, maybe EBOs, and also that is the sales. The service is a very important part, that you bought online, you can go to a store and return it. You bought in the store, you call up online and then you do it.
Seamless experience.
Because service is where the breakages happen. And the third, which I say, is marketing. That are you marketing online, offline, and different parts. And Ganesh, one mistake I see companies who want to become Omni-Channel make is they treat sales channels as a different business. So online is a different business and offline. Whereas if I see the bigger, especially in jewelry, most of the people are researching online, but they are going offline and then buying. So
no, this is absolutely the truth, because in fact Red Seer Consulting had done a survey where 60% of the sales originate online. Discovery is online.
And sales
and data is online. For the company's point of view, data I gather from online. Customer point of view, discovery is online. So that is very clear, because the first port of call is online. You want to see what is available. Even if you want to go offline shop, which are the stores available near you, you will go online. So where the company is able to get data, the customer is able to do discovery. But the trust, trial, conversion happens offline. Okay, right? So, and you hit the nail on the head when you said you have to design a seamless experience. In Bluestone, one of the things is customer is unique.
Yes.
Once he comes in, he gets tagged uniquely.
Yes.
After that, whether he uses the app, whether he uses the website from multiple computers, whether he comes to the store, the journey is smooth. It is captured continuously without any breakage. You don't have to repeat it. So
Yeah.
when you come to the store, they know what items you have seen, where you have used, how much time you have spent. It's known at the store.
Yeah.
Okay, right? And that is key. So, and in the store also the experience is they have iPads. They will show you the you come to the store, but the inventory you see is not only what is there in the store. Is inventory is the salespeople, the people will show you the entire thing. But why? Experience is the same as what you would have had at your home,
Yes.
seeing all of the inventory. Yes, you can see some of it physically,
Yeah.
but you do that. So that helps a lot. And for that to happen, the data can't be in silos.
Yeah.
And the technology has to be a single integrated technology. So the same one single software, single data data backend is what is accessed by the store. Same data is accessed online when you see. Same data is accessed by the manufacturing.
Exactly.
And this is what makes it successful, that there is one company view of customer, demand pattern, across locations, across stores. So what inventory to stock in Koramangala, what inventory to stock in Indiranagar, when to stock this, what to move, where is the demand, what designs are moving in which places, irrespective of online purchase, offline purchase, this is available as a single view.
Yeah.
I think that is the biggest mistake people make when they try to do omni-channel. If you are a offline company having a website and wanting to go online, you have siloed data.
Yeah.
Same is true if you are an online company, you open stores, but unless the backend is fully integrated, you will not be able
the
to.
data layer needs to be integrated very well.
Data layer has to be unique.
In fact,
Customer layer has to be unique.
Yeah.
Unique customer, full experience.
So I'll tell you one more thing. I was talking to some jewelry brand, newly launched with a big house. So they have a website, but the website does not sell anything. Okay. Whereas if you look at Carrot Lane or Bluestone, they have a website and an app. Now what happens, the incremental thing which happens in the app, because app has 80% login rate. Website generally has hardly 0.5 or 2%. If whatever is the conversion, you 2x it, that's the login rate. So you know that Saurabh was browsing the app or Ganesh was browsing the app.
Yeah.
Okay, and then when he goes there, so the identity problem also gets solved.
Absolutely.
And then in the store also you have the app,
yeah.
the iPad. In
Yeah.
there you take the phone number and
Yeah.
do it. So the identity gets staged. While companies who are only website, sometimes they think, I don't sell on website, so why do I need to have an app?
Yeah.
The immersive experience you can give on an app plus the identity you get. You cannot do a AR thing in it. Okay, you cannot show a video, you cannot do a
Yeah.
zoom in, zoom out.
Yeah.
And then you cannot even bring him back. Wo dekhega, he will go away.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of small things. Jewelry is a very, very interesting category where this whole omni-channel is playing.
Yeah.
And I think so. Now let's see what happens with lab grown diamond coming in.
Lab-grown diamond is a completely different angle
Animal,
altogether.
yeah.
I think these are two distinctly different segments, but obviously I am a biased person to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
And lab-grown diamond also has got its own challenges. The prices have crashed. There is no differentiation and all that. So there will be a market for lab-grown diamond,
Yeah.
but
It's
I
like
don't think a market for real diamond will go away.
It's like Oppo, Vivo versus Apple.
Yeah.
You have the same thing available.
Yeah. There will be a lot of it. There are a lot of cases.
Yeah.
We have also seen where people buying real diamonds also buy lab-grown diamonds for a different thing.
Purpose.
Your teenage daughter wants to you go.
Yes.
You don't want to give her a normal diamond and then create it. You may buy the diamond and keep it under lock and key as a more like an investment and value. But give a lab-grown diamond so that the person can wear it anytime.